whatever your dreams are, whatever, it's always going to be in the back of your mind if you don't try.
My name is Nathaniel, and this is the Motorcycle Archives. Episode 4, Yama Azim.
I don't really like paying people to do things if I can just learn how to do it myself. And I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to be the young guy that was like starting to do this stuff, you know? Yeah. You're gonna make mistakes. You're not gonna learn from those mistakes unless you try. And if you really are at your wit's end and you can't figure it out, or like it's a bottom end that just blows up or whatever, something that you don't have the tools for, like I've just been the type of person that I invest in the tools and my own learning to like figure it out on my own.
Otherwise, you're just gonna rely on people forever.
That's how you learn, man. Like, you know, you start from just nothing. When I started Mazi Moto and stuff, it was mainly just because there was like the big dogs in the chopper scene doing knuckleheads and panheads and all the cool stuff, you know? And then it was just like the Sportster dudes that like didn't really fit into that. And when we did our first ride, it was all the Sportster people from the Bay Area just like came together. And now those people are like some of my closest friends. I was searching for a community and I was able to like make that community happen through the business. I'm still a young dude in this and I'm still learning. So I think the next step for me is just like finish up these customer bikes that I have going and just start building my own stuff to sell. I have like a bike that I've been wanting to build for a while. It's that UL motor that's up there. And I've had this bike built in my head for a long time. I have the parts for it, but I need a good chunk of change to like build the engine and build the frame and do all this stuff. And so the way I've been thinking about it is like customer bikes, they pay my rent. As much as I love that bike, as much as I don't want to let it go, I should get rid of the Ironhead to take that next step and to build that next bike. That might just be what I have to do, you know? And it sucks. It super sucks because that bike's sick.
Yeah, man.
I love it, you know? And it's gone everywhere with me, you know? But you might just have to make that move. Building a bike is cool. And don't get me wrong, that's like one of my favorite parts, but it's also sick to be able to ride your bikes.
Yeah. Like that's also why we do it.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah, for sure.
And you don't really realize it until you're on the road and you're like barely making it back on the Yosemite trip and just being like, holy shit, I made it, you know?
Yeah, I survived. In this like modern day and age, it's like the closest thing we can get to like a proper adventure.
There is a sweet spot, especially on the Ironhead, where it just hums and you can feel the vibration of the engine under you, the wind in your face, the weather's perfect, or maybe not, or it's hot or cold, whatever. But in that moment, you're there. So there's nothing else on your mind. You're thinking about your bike, you're thinking about yourself, and it's like therapeutic in its own way. And there have been times where at the end of a ride, like on that Yosemite trip, it was pouring rain. I was the only one making it back because everybody else had to go. So I'm riding the last 60 miles by myself, water spraying in my face, trucks passing me by going 60 miles per hour. And I'm just going, freaking out, like, this thing's making it, dude, holy shit, you know, like this is insane.
Yeah.
And there's no better feeling.
Dude, it's beautiful.
It is. You know, I get comments on the YouTube and stuff where it's like, why are you guys putting yourselves in this situation of struggle? But sometimes it's not about the destination, it's about the journey getting there, you know? And it's about the gas stops every 60 miles where everybody's laying on the ground and dumping water on each other and just freaking out that like this bike that we just built 2 weeks ago is going 1,500 miles. Like with somehow no problems or with like every problem in the sun, you know? Those trips, like, we're gonna talk about those trips for the rest of our lives. Great thing about San Francisco is they don't want any more mechanics in warehouse spaces anymore. So even the warehouse spaces that were perfect that I looked at, before I could go check it out, they would have already rented it to a tech company. So like, I think this whole thing is definitely dying in San Francisco, man. And like, I feel like privileged to be able to do it still in here. Every month is a struggle, for sure. Little projects, finishing the XS. I was like grateful enough to have customers that will either like pay me little by little while I'm doing their projects, or I have like a hoard of parts that I don't want to sell, but if I have to, like I can, and it provides me rent. I look back on my 20s, and if I did it the way that I was told to do it, I probably would have been pretty bummed. It was a struggle, don't get me wrong, like, but money is just a thing. It's great to have, don't get me wrong. It's fucking awesome to have, and it opens a lot of doors for people, and I wish I had more of it. But like, to be able to make it through life with whatever you're given and do it in a way where you're appreciating the world as a whole, and you're not just trying to use and abuse it and like throw it away at the end of the day, that's very special.
All right, let's do another clap. And then let's inch it like 1 inch back. Woo, symmetry, symmetry.
I'm working on these bikes or whatever. I'm building whatever bikes I want to build. But at the same time, it's not enough sometimes, you know? Like, you see this person and that person building born free bikes. They're building their own frames. And I'm just like, man, like, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. You almost don't appreciate what you have.
Mm-hmm. You're looking at something else for...
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I should be here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
it's
you
a hard thing
learn
not to do.
that those people are 10 years older than you. And they've been doing this for 20 years longer than you.
Right. And then you also have to understand that, I mean, they have their own personal struggles as well, you know? It's not something that escapes you once you reach, you know, whatever that end goal is, or if there even is an end goal.
Oh, damn! Woo! There's so much of like a rich past and history about these bikes. I just feel blessed to be able to like have my own aspect of it and to continue on the story in my own way through my own life and experiences, and to be able to document it and use technology to put it out there in the world. One of the coolest things that happens with the YouTube channel is like all of the old heads, man, like comment, you young kids are keeping this alive. We were doing this back in the day, just like you were doing this, and you're keeping it alive.
Mm.
And that's so cool. It's like the most reassuring thing, having the ability to even be somewhat a part of it in my own realm, or in San Francisco especially, like where there is a super rich history here. It's so special to be able to be a part of that.
Hell yeah, dude. Oh, that shit got flames on it. Oh!
The spirituality aspect to it, and I feel like that's a big thing with like motorcycling in general. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, if you wanted to share a little bit about what that means to you.
Who knows how long I'm going to be on this earth. And there is this divine that is all around us, everywhere, all the time. Whether you're in the concrete jungle downtown San Francisco, there's beauty to it, right? Whether you're at a random park, Golden Gate Park in San Francisco, it's like, it blows your mind, because you're like, how is there this nature right here in the middle of this concrete jungle, right? And then you ride to somewhere like Yosemite, and you ride into the valley, and you see this like, what the fuck is this? How is this here? The world is just like a special place. And to be able to like experience it, being out into it, like on a bike, you're sitting on your engine, right? Like, it's the most uncomfortable thing, but it's the most beautiful thing to be able to like go through and experience the world and its beauty. And like, not just that, but like people, you know, and like the people that we're with, we're all divine in our own ways, and like we all add to each other's lives in our own ways. But there's beauty in that as well. There's beauty in camaraderie. There's beauty in like community. There's beauty in this divine that there's different ways to connect with. Yeah. And I think this is just one way to connect out of like many.
Dude, there's nothing cooler than that, dude.
Dude, there's nothing better. There's no better feeling.